Alright, hello everyone, welcome to another race of the Mario Kart 64 No Skips tournament. I'm Matthias, your commentator for today's match between Hattok and Armin. This will be an interesting match between two players who have had similar results for fastest races in the tournament. We'll have a quick look and tell you in a second. So in the group stage, Hattok had a 40:04 run, 40 minutes 04, while Armin's best is 40:11, also from the group stage. This is a very close matchup, potentially. Armin is a bit higher ranked on the time trial rankings, I think around 70, while Hattok is just in the top 100. But he is more experienced and higher ranked on the leaderboards of our no skips category in the GP 150cc mode. So this makes it a very interesting match, and I will introduce the players further when we start the race, and that should happen shortly. Also, let me know if the audio volume balance is good between the streams and my microphone. That's good to hear. So I'll make sure both players are ready, and then I will count them down. Armin with last minute practice, going backwards or exploring all the different paths on Yoshi Valley. That's not too useful though. Maybe he was just killing some time because we had to wait for the previous event to stop. Wow, he gets all the stars. Okay, now he confirms that he's also ready. I will wait a bit. Yeah, he gets ready in the menu. So I will count them down. Alright, so I counted them down. And you will notice that only Hattok will start selecting Mushroom Cup. Armin is supposed to wait for 30 seconds because he plays on emulator, which is free of any lag, and approximately half a minute adds up over the total of a run through all the cups when you play on the N64 console. And that's the reason we give every emulator player a 30-second penalty. So he has to catch up. Okay, I sync the timers and the race starts for Hattok on Leisure Raceway. And Armin is about to start now. Alright, so this race is correct now. They follow the rules. And Armin goes. He plays zoomed in, I think? Yeah. While Hattok plays zoomed out, which is important on the N64 because you get even more lag if you play zoomed in on different tracks where you have moving obstacles. The biggest factors for lag reduction will be to to get fake items or bananas like he does now, and keep it behind him so that the game zooms out even more. And it's especially important on tracks like DK's Jungle Parkway, that's the laggiest of all. Also Bowser's Castle and Yoshi Valley play a role. And you have smaller obstacles like the waterfall on Koopa Troopa Beach, the train on Kalimari Desert also causes some lag. But let's get back to the race. Armin just spun out. You can already notice a small timer difference, the in-game timer. It's less than 30 seconds. So Hattok finishes in 1:38.10. And he progresses fast through the menu. That's also important, to hold the start button and mash A to go as fast through the menu as you can. So we had 1:38 for Hattok, 1:37 for Armin. So he caught up just a bit. And we move on to the second track, Moo Moo Farm, where you have the uneven ground that's the worst in the game, and you have the random moles popping up. So you can't just rely on a cycle, on a pattern here to avoid the moles. You just have to avoid all the holes if possible. And take a good line at the same time, which is very, very demanding here. Biggest challenge to take the inner line. So in a one try scenario, you expect them to go a bit safe. Yeah, Hattok only goes inside of one hole, Armin even goes around them. Hattok with a mushroom. You have a 10% chance in first place to get a mushroom, and that's the best speed item you can get there. But we will see players attempt some tricks later on the next track. So Hattok with a clean 1:12. Very nice. No moles hit so far. Armin meanwhile spins out and has a bunch of bananas. It's not that easy to get rid of them and get another item. But so late in the race you rather want to keep focusing on good lines. 1:14, so he loses over 2 seconds here. And we're already onto Koopa Troopa Beach with Hattok. He will go for the tunnel jump, the tunnel ramp here, which is allowed in no skips, it's intended. And now he will go for an item manipulation glitch. He got it to work, but was unfortunate to get triple reds. What he did is get next to the finish line on a polygon, which is badly programmed and mapped, so the game thinks you are a lap behind, and that gives you the chance to stop the item rotation. If you do that at the right time, you will get a last place item. Armin goes for it as well and gets a lightning. That's also bad luck, both runners did it well. I think the time difference is about 25 seconds right now. Sorry, 28. Oh no! Hattok misses the tunnel. Just barely crashes right off the tunnel entrance. Armin didn't get the last place item this time. But if he gets the last tunnel jump, he will gain a lot of time. There you can see Hattok lost 9 seconds approximately. And Armin gets in. Not the best approach, but he made sure to jump left. And gained about 10 seconds on the whole track. So that puts him already closer. Whoever finishes first on Rainbow Road is the winner, because Armin started 30 seconds late. Okay, so on Kalimari Desert, the track layout itself is not very difficult, but the train is. So you have to watch out for its cycle, and probably if nobody gets a boo or a mushroom, but I think it's too late for that now, you will see players wait a bit. Hattok now. You can go through the tiny gaps between the wagons, but it's very hard, and he doesn't risk it. So he waits a bit, and then he beats the the second train. That banana was scary. Same for Armin. He has to slow down a bit, but he has a mushroom, which is very nice. And Hattok gets a bit of lag here whenever he passes the train close, whenever it gets big on screen. He can easily pass the last train because of the spin out, probably the one banana he hit. Otherwise, sometimes you see players slow down there a bit. Like Armin, he has to slow down a bit. Yeah, passed it very close, nicely on the left. And Hattok 147, the instant reset. We skipped the trophy ceremony after all cups which are in the run. And he goes quick in the menu. 144 for Armin, so he caught up even more. And we move on to Flower Cup. Let's see the difference between these two. It was 30 seconds at the beginning, and it's less than 12 seconds now. Mainly because of the missed tunnel jump from Hattok on Koopa Troopa Beach. And the main tracks to cause lag will still come for Hattok. As I said, Donkey Kong's Jungle Parkway is the worst there. You have the boat, the waterfall, and the boat is always, or very often, visible in the background. So he needs a buffer when he approaches these tracks. Even if he drives a bit better than Armin, that would only allow him to stay even. So on Toad's Turnpike, the track is only challenging at the end usually. These players have the quality to dodge all the cars, and they should do it. Yep, Hattok nicely through the cars there. I think there was a backwards green. If he shot it backwards, he can't be hit between the tankers. Oh, I think that was accidentally. We fired it forward, but no problem. You may also notice that the CPU's rubber band quite hard. It's noticeable on this track. Armin is safe, and it seems like Hattok doesn't have a CPU right behind him either, but sometimes they are just on your tail. Or on your heel, sorry. So 226 for Hattok, and also 226 for Armin, so the gap stays similar. And And players make sure to go fast through the menu again. And we move on to Frap Snowland. Yeah, although the time on Toad's Turnpike was very similar, the gap is down to about 10 seconds now. So the cast probably also caused a tiny bit of lag over the course of 2.5 minutes. That adds up. And of course players could also have different times in the menu, but these two know what to do there. Oh, Armin spins out into the snow, but he makes sure not to go out of bounds. That can easily happen on this track. And you don't want to get stuck, there would be a big time loss. Through the snowman field one last time. Oh, Armin gets hit by a green shell, I think. If it was a green shell, it must have been his own, because the CPUs can't throw shells in this game. Meanwhile, Hattok finishes with a high 141, which will gain him some time. Yeah, about 2.5 seconds. Very important for Hattok to extend his lead a bit. Of course, much can go wrong and right on the later stages. The tracks will not become easier. So in Choco Mountain you have to watch out not to fall down on the previous part of the track. Right where Hattok drives now, there's another part of the track above him, and now he's on exactly that spot, so you have to watch out for bananas or weirdly getting stuck in the wall, which is very bad here. Sometimes it just sucks you in and then pushes you out again with high speed. Oh, Armin spins out. Small time loss, and he has to deal with some CPU drivers. Hattok with a mushroom. He uses it on a nice spot we know from time trials. Very common spot here. You also saw him throwing a banana sideways. That's a good way to avoid running over that banana, especially on lap 1 and 2. If you do these GP speedruns. Oh, the boulder, that was close. So you have to make sure to not set any traps with your own items. Close run for first, but as long as you finish within the points, so first to fourth, you are fine. Once you rank out, you have to redo the track. And Hattok gains a bit more than a second on Choco Mountain. So Mario Raceway and the mushroom is worth very much here. You can cut a lot of corners there nicely. Probably the one coming up now. Yes, shrooms crossed the sand there. So the gap is currently about 11 seconds and it's a fair game. Armin also has the mushroom. Chooses the same spot to use it. You can go through the piranha plants there and inside the big mushroom They both go around because it's very risky. Oh wow! He only got the lightning, but I have to manage. I have to mention Hattok's item manipulation glitch. That's the latest discovery in the community. Not long ago we found out how to get a last place item there in the pipe. Only doable in one player GP. He stopped the item rotation there and unfortunately only got a lightning, but well done. A high 115. He would have deserved the star. And Armin with 114, barely gaining. And we are into Star Cup. 8 tracks remaining, quite long tracks amongst them. And the gap is about 9 seconds, I think. Yeah, a bit less than 9 seconds. Hattok with the shroom over the hills. That's the best spot to use it. And WARIO Stadium is the second longest track in the game. And for me, one of the most technical ones. It's all the different hills. Especially if you try to go as fast as possible and do the slides and mini turbos over it. It's not that easy to maintain control if you're in the air. High 112 for Hattok. High 111 for Armin. So there's another second. If you count in the lag, which will happen for Hattok, this race is very, very close right now, I would say. I think these two leave out a few MTs. They do the most, but they don't risk too much. Some of the MTs you do in time trials in 100cc speed are unbelievably hard to get consistently on 150, especially on the faster NTSC version, which gives you less time for your joystick movements to toggle the joystick and charge the mini turbos. A high 111 for Hattok now. Just a bit faster for Armin, barely gained a bit of time. So no major mistakes from both guys. Good WARIO Stadium race. Hattok with another mushroom. You probably will use it after the last turn. Yeah. Ah, he runs into the wall, so he didn't gain much. 3:36.77. Armin about 2 seconds, a bit less than 2 seconds faster. To come closer and closer. And we move on to Sherbet Land. Tricky one. About 6 seconds difference now. So you have to watch out for the penguins here. They should know their cycles. Maybe Armin, who's less experienced in 150cc, expects the penguins in another spot, I'm not sure, because of time trial habits. But once you run into one penguin, surely you don't know where they will be on the next lap. And on this speed it's never easy to navigate through the cave there. And they can also be in your way at the cave entrance, and especially on the last turn. And the worst thing to happen would be to fall into the ice water here. You have to wait for Lucky to rescue and put you back on the track, and then you are even frozen in an ice cube, which costs you even more time. Oh, these 2 bananas for Hattok, very dangerous. But he dodged them. Both playing quite safe on the crack jumps. Now Armin does a little one. The reward here is quite small, so understandably they don't want to risk falling in. $138 for Hattok. 137, barely faster again. So if Armin gained more than half a second or so, then Hattok had some lag on his Sherbet Land. That would be the only reason for any difference. Let's see. It was about 6 seconds before Sherbet Land. Yep, and now 4 seconds. The menu can also play a role, but I think Hattok is good in the menu. He's experienced. And Armin has a mushroom. So I told you which are the main tracks for lag on the N64, but surely you get a bit of lag with everything moving in the background, which the N64 hardware can't exactly handle and load in time. So it's getting closer and closer between these two. Royal Raceway is a quite simple track. You could miss the ramp, but these players are very good. It won't happen. Armin with another mushroom. I think he already had one on the fast lap. Oh, banana and fake item, but he went around. That's a common spot for the CPUs to drop items. He shrooms around here, and he's very close now to Hattok. So at the moment it looks like we almost have an even race going to Bowser's Castle, which is one of the most chaotic tracks on GP. Hattok made sure to cancel these shells, the red and the green. Normally you don't want to shoot, oh nice mushroom for him, you don't want to shoot a red shell to the side in first place, because it will go back onto the track, behind you most likely, and then could hit you. Ah yeah, that's a fair game. Hattok with his second mushroom will use it on the last turn here through the grass. Nice. 221. Armin again faster by a few tenths, lowering that gap even further, little by little. And this is where the lag and the chaos might begin. Less than 2 seconds in it. So it is possible now that Hattok has a faster in-game time but loses in real time. If he doesn't get a banana or fake item, he will get some lag on Bowser's Castle and even more on DK Jungle Parkway. And Armin spins out on the bridge. I think he was in first place. I was watching the other stream. He must have spun out by turning left and right. That's a bad mechanic of this game, only available in 150cc. Hattok with a mushroom through the grass. And now Armin is in trouble. He has to beat the CPUs, get back, and watch out for the thwomps and the items, which are off cycle. He gets pushed by Wario into a thwomp, but he had the golden shroom still running, so he prevented the spin out. Maneuvering through the thwomps here. So yeah, as I said, Bowser's Castle is never boring. Something will happen in one race. So Hattok makes sure to gain time here so far. It looks good for him. And he definitely needs it. Ooh, that was so close. He clipped the wall there, but found the exit. You also may notice on Armin's side that the thwomps have strange colors. That only happens on some emulations. So clean, very clean Bowser's Castle from Hattok. 153, nice. Armin 159, loses about 6 seconds in-game time. Surely a bit less in real time. He was less than 2 seconds behind. So just by judging in-game time, I would say the difference is about 7 to 8 seconds. But you may notice on Hattok's start that even before the race starts in DKJP, it already lags. And the difference is very small, as you can tell. And if you only watch the timers, Armin's timer may overtake Hattok's. Because if the game lags, the timer will also slow down. Oh wow, but Armin gets stroken. I don't know if that's proper English, excuse me. He got hit by a lightning. Wow, very unfortunate for him, bad luck. It's like the game wants to even out the lag difference, but Armin also had a disadvantage of 30 seconds, the time penalty already. But now you can see that Armin's timer is actually ahead, although he started the race later, because his emulator runs without any lag. But it's not about the in-game timer, it's about real time. Oh, Armin gets hit by a green shell, must have been his own again. Another shelfie. So Hattok's item management definitely better, and he trails a banana, puts a banana behind him to reduce a bit of lag. That's the second best you can have here after a mushroom. But once you have a banana and you are on the N64, oh no, he spins out. That both. Hattok spins out again. What is happening? They get hit by these stones, and if you turn a little bit, you can get into a spin out chain. It's awful. But Armin has taken the lead. Yeah, that's a good example here. Armin had the slower time, 2:08, Hattok 2:07, but still Hattok lost his lead. That shows you how much the N64 lags. Okay, about 5 seconds difference at the start of Yoshi Valley, and this track won't help Hattok in terms of lag, because there's much loaded in the background. So Hattok will keep his ghost to take the fastest path, while Armin takes the second fastest, which is the safest route. And both did the hairpin jump, by the way, which is allowed in no skips. The community had agreed on it about 20 years ago to see this as intended route. Yep, Armin does the last hairpin jump successfully and even has a mushroom. And he's extending his lead just by driving cleanly and without any lag. Spin out into the finish, 1:35. Hattok definitely had a good race, half a second faster, but he loses more time. How much exactly, you will see at the beginning of Banshee Boardwalk. That should be finally for Hattok, a track with little to no lag. I don't know if there's any track without lag. It's definitely way less than the 3 tracks before. So the difference is 10 seconds, and Banshee Boardwalk is notoriously dangerous to fall down, spin out, run into CPU items. Hattok with a mushroom that will gain him just a bit of time. Oh, the bananas, yeah, Armin runs into one, but is lucky enough. Oh wow, Bowser! He was lucky twice not to fall off there. And Hattok hits a banana. Stays on track as well. Oh, dangerous red shell by Armin. Didn't fire it into the fence. He has a mushroom though. Keeps it. Plays it safe. Now he shrooms around the last corner here. Oh, gets a bit stuck, but he didn't fall down. 1:47. Armin catches up a bit, but I have the feeling it was less than 3 seconds real time. We will see. Entering the last track of the race, Rainbow Road. He gets a good trend here using AAA acceleration. Difference is about 8 seconds. So Hattok couldn't gain as much as the in-game timer showed. Both having ghosts here, interesting, boost. And Armin made sure to dodge a chomp. So does Hattok. Hattok definitely leads Armin to hit multiple chomps here, because the fence will cover Armin and protect him from falling down. There are only a few spots where you potentially could fall down here on Rainbow Road, where the track gets very steep. So Armin is in the commanding position, definitely. Hattok spins out. Gets rid of the green shells. Triple greens can be dangerous, you can't throw them backwards. And they stay on the track most of the time. So you have to watch out. Armin into lap 2 with a 1:36. Oh, Hattok spins out and he loses more time. Only a 1:38. And another spin out. So his chances, which were already very, very slim, are even lower now. Armin hits a banana, but it's only a small time loss. So in the skips category, this track is very famous for a green shell skip at the end of the lap, and that can swing around a race or a single run. But in no skips, the challenge is quite small. They only have to dodge these chomps, make sure they drive straight at the finish, downhill, and not fall off. So there is very little which could go wrong for Armin. He looks very promising to win this race. He goes around the chomps here. Into the last lap, 1:37. Also 1:37 for Hattok. That doesn't bring him closer. There might be a little bit of lag here as well. This is the first round of the winner's bracket, by the way, in a double elimination format. So nobody will go out of the tournament. Whoever loses here still has a second chance. Armin showing off the time trial shroom spot. The optimal way here would be not to hit the fence, but he got a slide shroom. Same for Hattok, also hitting the fence. So Armin is approaching the finish line. Will he get the sub 40? That would be a personal best for him. Yes, he does. 39.59. Congrats to Armin. And Hattok finishes in 40.09. So only 10 seconds difference between these two. Well done by both. It was a very close race throughout all the tracks. That KTB tunnel miss from Hattok is costly in the end. That could be what decided this race in retrospective. So yeah, sometimes it's about the RNG, the item luck, and it's hard to predict if two players are really close in skill level who will win this race. And that makes the whole thrill of the tournament, I would say. So congrats again, well done. to Armin. He advances to the next round of the winners bracket. I will have a short look at it. So Armin will face Luke in the second round. While Hattok moves into the loser bracket and will face Zoran next. Yep, these are the next two matches for these guys. We don't have any match scheduled for SpeedGaming currently, but surely there will be more to come, including myself. So watch out next week for more Mario Kart 64 action on SpeedGaming. I hope you enjoyed this race as much as I did, and hopefully see you next time again for the next race of our tournament. So have a nice day and goodbye.